So what exactly, that's why I gotta mute. One of these has to be muted.
And also updating the blog that we have. So you'll be hearing from me soon. I really hope that y'all think about writing and submitting to the blog because it's great. I was looking at some from like, I don't know, 2000 and whenever when Luke was here. And they were just really great. And they stay on the website, the FCE website. So it's a great opportunity. Um, anyway, yeah, if you have any more questions about that, come talk to me after.
Mackenzie Zapata could not be here yet. She is a second-year PhD student with Rolando Santos and Jennifer Rahage. She's looking at crawl data in Biscayne Bay. And her role as the outreach coordinator is to kind of bridge the gap between our two campuses. One of our big goals for this year is to kind of have more BBC and MMC overlap. But also we're reaching out to other community members, stakeholders, other grad student organizations, things like that. And then Sophie.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sophie. I'm a fourth year PhD student and also in the Rehage Lab with James. My primary focus is I look at fish population dynamics in Florida Bay. And so not only approaching that from like the fish telemetry and movement side of things, but I also work with the local angler population throughout the Keys in South Florida to understand how we can really utilize their knowledge better to understand what fish are doing in response to, any climatic events. For FCE, I'm the treasurer, so I just deal with the money. Pretty simple.
She paid for the pizza that you guys are eating, so she makes things happen. And the last member of our e-board is our secretary, Alia Jones, and she also might be on her way. She's a second year student in our lab as well with Jen Rahage, studying permit and bonefish food webs in the Florida Keys literally today as we speak. So she's going to be the one reaching out a lot. She'll be sending you WhatsApp messages, emails, a lot of communication, and just being involved in your inbox. So be on the lookout for that. Okay, so now that you guys know the team, let's kind of talk about some of the things that we have planned for the semester. And one of the things that we use this potluck for is to get ideas from you and think about the events and the level that you want to commit to, just based on what we're kind of thinking for the semester. So there are some reoccurring things that we do as a group consistently throughout the year. One is our first Friday social. This is pretty much the standard get together on Friday and have a beer at a bar. It's a very classic grad student activity. And we have a couple lined up for the fall semester. So on October 3rd, we're going to go to Magic 13 Brewery. On November 7th, we're going to go to Lost City Brewery. And we're trying to choose ones that are more like impartial between the two campuses and try and provide the best possible opportunity for attendance for everybody. For our December first Friday, we're going to do things a little bit differently, and this is still a little tentative, but we're thinking of scrapping the first Friday on December 5th and doing a more legit holiday party / photo contest, possibly at the ICTB or another venue where we would have a little bit more autonomy and a little bit more capacity to kind of make it a FCE gathering. So for the first Fridays in January, we also decided that January 2nd was probably not going to get a ton of attendance. So we're going to push back to January 9th and do maybe a fun kind of like Wynwood bar that we have not gone to as an organization, the La Tropical. So those are kind of set. We're kind of, we like the locations, but for the spring semester, we're still interested in hearing other options for bars. We've gone to Tripping Animals a lot. We've gone to MIA Brewery, but we have options. We just also want to hear some thoughts from you guys. And then on May 1st is usually somewhere around then will be the FC ASM for the year. And there's always like an after bar that we go to for that. So stay tuned. In addition to our monthly First Fridays, we also offer this bi-weekly Think Tank Thursday. So this is actually a really cool space that we've designated for learning, kind of working together as a collaborative group. So this is, Gabe, do you call these your office hours? Would you say like this is the office hours, or is it just?
So I have office hours every Thursday, and when those overlap with the think tank Thursday events, I don't know office hours for that.
Yeah, so Gabe, as you guys know, is our information manager. And one of the best aspects of Think Tank Thursdays is that he makes himself available to you. So it's a really good time to maybe come in, practice a presentation or a code or get feedback. It's been very helpful for me in the publishing side of it. I would go and we'd work on our data sets that were getting published and stuff like that. Historically, we have kind of run these at the end of the day on a Thursday, like 4 to 6. In the past, we have also talked about moving them up to 3 to 5 to overlap directly with business hours. So that is also something that we're interested in hearing your feedback, and we'll see who attends. But starting back up on the 25th, we're going to be doing those Think Tank Thursdays every Thursday or every other Thursday in MMC OE 112, which is the Crest room. If you guys have not been there. One other aspect of Think Tank Thursdays that we are considering is creating the same type of environment on BBC, and whether that would be in the off weeks or whether they would overlap and we would try and have more of a Zoom meeting going at the same time so that both groups could at least collaborate, maybe get some FaceTime with Gabe if they need it. So we're definitely gonna poll some of the BBC campus students and kind of see if they want to put in that effort. It is just harder on the e-board because that would require 2 people to be present in those rooms. So we'll get back to you, but for now, the standard Think Tank Thursdays, starting on the 25th, will still be in OE 112 every 4 to 6 p.m. All right, and then we have some major fall events that were going on. So one thing that you might have noticed already that we didn't do weekly from last year was our art jams. We just feel as an e-board, we have limited time and resources to facilitate that. And if you know anything about me, my art is awful. So we'll talk a little bit more about art in a minute, but we have a big art event that we're actually more excited for. So the first big kickoff event that we want to do is a Halloween door decorating contest, where we're going to clear this with EH&S, and you'll probably have to be a little bit careful about which door and which labels you do or do not cover. So we'll get you guys some ground rules and stuff like that once we clear it with them. But the idea here is that we want to see the 2 things that I'm really bad at facilitated by you. So I'm really bad at art and making things look nice, and social media. So we're doing both of those in this event, where we're going to give lab groups 2 weeks to decorate their doors. It doesn't have to be like it's Halloween theme, but get creative, do it however you want to communicate your lab's science and maybe your lab's personality. If you have multiple doors, like maybe one that's inside your lab that won't get you in trouble, that's another good consideration. But we're going to give the 13th to the 24th or 5th, whatever that last Friday is, those 2 weeks to let lab groups decorate and send us a submission. Then we're going to start posting them to Instagram and have a little voting competition amongst both campuses, and we'll decide some prizes for the winning lab groups. So we're excited about this. Again, this is kind of to promote lab group and to promote our social media and kind of kickstart that in early October. Another big event, we listened to some of your feedback when we had the all scientist meeting in May. And one of the things that we have not done historically was a lunch activity or anything during the middle of the day. We often have either external events at the end of the night or very difficult for people that are trying to be on campus early. So on November 21st, we're planning a Friendsgiving luncheon. We're not really sure on the venue yet. It'll probably be OE 112 on MMC, or we might take it outside and do a little picnic in the park type of thing. But we're trying to organize this similar to the potluck, but maybe a little bit more top down from the student group side. And we'll just have a more holistic meeting of the group for a lunch during the day, kind of before people go off for the holidays. And then I touched on this briefly. Every year we've done a first Friday in December at Tripping Animals, one of the breweries, and they have a little back room where we've been able to set up these poster boards and do a big photo contest. And so we're going to start opening up submissions. There's another photo contest going on right now with the with the entire LTER. Paige, did you want to I think you've been sending it around.
Yeah, I can share.
You want to shout out for that?
Yeah, so this is a pretty cool contest. We had really good attendance last year. But it's essentially voting between the best days in the field versus the worst days in the field. And you can interpret that how you want. And so we're submitting for each LTER is submitting photos, and then the social media working group of the graduate student committee votes on and chooses the representative photo for FCE. And then it's March Madness style, bracket style, where the sites go head to head via Instagram and you vote. And then whoever becomes ultimate champion is just a winner for life. So please.
They're due October 3rd, I believe.
Yeah,
right?
submissions are due October 3rd and voting will start via Google Forms, then to Instagram in the middle of October-ish.
Yeah. So Paige has been sending out those links in emails and in the WhatsApp group. So if you have a best and worst day photo ready to go, might as well submit that. for the LTRs competition, and then maybe we might have our own little section of that for the photo contest this year as well. So highly encourage everyone to do that. We'll send another reminder blast to try and get the one due in October. But for this holiday photo competition, what we're thinking is probably doing it here at this venue, maybe in the early afternoon to evening, where we can kind of have the space and make it a little bit longer event. So we're excited for that. It's always really cool. Some of you take amazing photos, and it's really awesome to see. So highly encourage you to come to that one. All right, our spring events are a little bit tentative for some of them, but for the most part, what we're trying to do is consolidate things and make fewer but bigger events where more people can attend. They're more concrete, set in stone, and then we're not overwhelming people with a bunch of weekly events that tend to have lower attendance, but still might be very important. So that being said, for the spring, we always like to do some outdoor activities. It's always a lot nicer, a little bit nicer weather to go out in. So we're trying to organize a camping trip. We do this every year where someone says they want to do a camping trip and then it doesn't always come together. So this is going to be one that we'll send out feelers for, but it's going to kind of be spearheaded by Katie, and she's going to require that you are active in the planning and really commit if you're going to do it. So we're excited. Like, my lab group goes camping for field work, so I don't know if I'll really want to do it every time. We'll see what the weather's looking like that day. And then the other outdoor event that we're really excited for, we want to do something bigger with art and kind of give like almost like a field day type of exercise, or not exercise, but like field day kind of event, where we would have mini art workshops or maybe stations where you could do something, some games. And so we're going to start reaching out to some of the more art savvy folks in our group and kind of see if they want to be involved with that, how they want to, if they want to lead like a workshop, or if they just want to show people kind of their work. We'll talk about it more, but we're doing something art in the park at some point. All right. And kind of building on that, creative events. So we, as an e-board, are not going to have the organized weekly art jams at this point, but we are looking for people to form a creative committee. I want to continue some of the work that Paige has done to display your art in museums and in showcases. I think that is incredible, and it's a lot of work. So we want to give you opportunities to both make art and then display them, but we're also looking for people that are kind of champions of that, have consistently been at those art jams and kind of know what will best serve those community members. And in the spring, we also do a little bit more of a professional workshop series. So I think that pairs well with kind of the art and outside side of it. We're kind of giving you a few more opportunities for career development during the day, but then the activities of the spring are going to be centered more about getting outside and really building a sense of community. So in the past, Gabe has led a best practices presentation. We'll most likely do that early in the spring. I've led a GitHub workshop for the past 2 years, and we'll see if we continue that one. It's usually really good for new grad students, but there's a lot of really good resources and things that we can expand on. So maybe we can combine it into the GitHub website building workshop that we also ran. But we'll kind of play that by ear, but be on the lookout for 3 to 4 information series, PowerPoints, and meetings that we can do in the spring. Okay, and then on top of kind of the student group activities, there are things going on at the university that we encourage you to participate in. One of the things that is underutilized, in my opinion, is our blog, Wading Through Research. This is an awesome part of the website that really doesn't get enough attention, but these are student-written blog posts that allow you to communicate your science in a little bit different way. And so historically, we have given 4 $250 travel awards every year. We're adding a new requirement to that. we're going to require that you must submit the draft of your blog post before your application will be considered. So we'll have more details on that. I know $250 is not a ton of money, but it does go a little bit towards like getting you to a conference or getting you the poster printed or whatever you need, because this travel fund has been consistent for years, and now we need to really start seeing those projects being displayed on the website. So it's not a very complicated blog post. It will not take you long. And for anyone who's won this award before, I think they would all agree it's pretty easy money in terms of science. So we will look out for that email when it comes out. One of the things that I am thinking about with it is connecting it to this. So this is a new thing going on at the LTER level. And this is kind of how I see it moving forward. So one of the requirements for us as an FCE group is to write one blog per year to the Salter blog, which is the LTR's overall blog. One of the ideas that we have is to potentially set a deadline for our travel grants, give out those 4 awards to people that have produced a blog for us, and then amongst all the applications and potentially the winners, pick one of those blogs to be the Salter representative for the year. We also encourage people to write for these blogs if they just want to, like you do not have to do the travel fund to be included. We want to see your research. We want to give you that opportunity to promote it, practice writing something that's a non-scientific communication piece, and see how that goes. But I would definitely be on that early. It's one of those things that we get a few applications really quick, and those awards go really fast. So be on the lookout. Okay. So most of you are here, so most of you probably know where to find FCE events. But if you go back to your lab and you need to give them the 411 on what happened here, there's like a bunch of different ways that we communicate with you. Hopefully that's not too overwhelming for you, but one of our most prominent ways of quick communication is just our WhatsApp chat. There is a student listserv that you'll get emails from. The case 262 door in MMC that has like posters and displays that you can also check out. And then I'm promising, this is me as a president promising this, our Instagram will be used more and will be like a better source of information this year as well. All right, and then last but not least, of course, John showed you the student section of the website itself. We're gonna update that a little bit now that we've kind of finalized some of our events, and then we'll always have a little schedule there that you can look at for kind of upcoming and major things to prepare for. And yeah, feel free to connect with us. Like I said, I think we use our Twitter. We have Blue Sky. We will update with that and send out those media links. We still have our FCE Student Group Instagram, which you should all be following. And then for anyone who has not joined the WhatsApp chat, feel free to do so via this QR code. I actually haven't tried it, so I'm curious if it actually works today. Does it work? So if you haven't gotten those messages, feel free to. We're also going to be sending these slides out, so your lab can.
Yeah, you already got you too.
And then when you fill out the form, please you'll do this form to add to yourself to the student list. All right, next slide. Go back. You want to do this one?
Yeah.
I'm a member.
WhatsApp group
Yeah,
and listserv for anyone who wants to do the listserv.
Get on the list.
Listserv is definitely the most direct email communication, so it's a good one.
But anybody who's not on the WhatsApp, please do the QR code to get on, because I'm gonna send the poll again on that, because we're gonna do a poll on the events. We really want to hear y'all's feedback. So, is everybody on WhatsApp now? Yes. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and send out the poll again so that the new people that just got added have it, and then you can vote. And then in a little bit, I'll show the results.
So yeah, like Katie just said, we're looking for some of your feedback. So we have a poll that's being sent around in the WhatsApp group chat, and it has several questions, but also we're just interested in the data workshops that you want to see. What are the skills that you want to develop? Is there an end of the semester or end of the spring semester social that you want to do, or any thing that you do or don't want at the holiday parties, things like that. If you have any new locations or venues that you want to try out for things like First Friday or hiking or camping, and you're interested, feel free to reach out. And then, of course, if there's other events that you feel the student group should be trying to spearhead, definitely let us know. All right. And with that, I'll take any questions. We're going to send the poll out and then do that. But thank you guys. Thank you.